What's up, guys? Frugal VC, and we're coming to you with more information about the algo hacks. We have a little bit more, at least some initial on-chain analysis showing just how much was hacked. I think it's probably undercounting. It's just an initial impression, so we don't know for sure. We're going to look at some data behind that. We're going to look at some changes to the Pera account. A lot of you folks who had Pera on Android noticed there was a missing option for the rekey. We're going to talk about how that's been fixed. We're going to give you some awareness of scammers coming up, and we're going to look at the price and also how HBAR may also have its own hack going on. So we're going to look at all that today on today's Frugal BC. No intro, just going to get right into it. So first off, we got a new update on the numbers. It looks like about $10.2 million has been trained, 2.2 million algo has been trained from accounts. And it looks like there's been almost 1,500 wallets hacked right now. This is according to some on-chain analysis. We're going to take a deeper look at that right now. This is from Vilian Monev, who did some on-chain analysis. Now this is unverified, so there's probably going to be more that comes out. I think this is going to be an undercount. I think a lot more has probably been stolen, but there's some really interesting details we need to look at. So 10.2 million algo drained from wallets that we know of so far based on the on-chain analysis. 2,000 algo is the median value. The mean value is 7,000 algo, and 1,450 wallets hacked. He points out that it's important to note that this is all raw and unverified data. He expects there to be some errors and wrongly flagged transactions, but the way he did it, a hacked transaction, is in this thread means wallet A sends more than 90% of its funds to wallet B. Wallet B is a newly created wallet. Wallet B has not moved the funds. It is a payment transaction. So the other thing that's possible is a lot of people were moving algo out to new wallet. You know, I created a new wallet. I rekeyed it. I didn't move the algo, but a lot of people took that route. So it's hard to, like you said, there will be potentially a lot of errors. But if you look through every block within a certain time period, those blocks are roughly between that's Monday 12 CEST until 9. So about a 9-hour period. That's not a 9-hour period, not quite a 24-hour period. So I believe 2 automated batches of transaction happened in both of the batches. The order of the hacked wallets was from highest to lowest wallet. Now, perhaps this indicates that a snapshot of the wallets was taken prior to the hack. First batch started around 9 CST on 6/3. Now this was the initial. First wallet was drained of 109,000 algo. The last one was about 400 algo. Second batch started on Monday at 2200 CEST. And the first batch drained around 17,000 algo, all the way down to the very last one was 450 algo. So it seems very systematic, which means there's definitely some software involved. It isn't just a person breaking in and stealing this, but it's clearly there's something systematic going on. So here's the bar chart, the number of hack transactions per hour. They kind of peak and then fall off again over a certain time period. And here's the stolen amount per hour, again, kind of peaking at a certain time period and then just dropping off. And that makes sense if they were going from highest to lowest, but then increasing in volume and then stopping. This is kind of interesting. Now, 73% of the hacked wallets held less than 5,000 algo, which means most of the hacked wallets were retail. Now, we do know that some projects had wallets hacked. Cosmic Gold, I do have to correct something about Cosmic Gold. It was not one of their wallets. It was a whale within the ecosystem had their wallet hacked, and then all the money, all the Cosmic Gold was dumped on the market, and that caused Cosmic Gold to the Cosmic Champs team to remove the liquidity. And I think we've seen that with a couple other projects. Now, besides that, I do want to talk about the Pera wallet. When I posted my last video, a lot of people, actually my first video of this hack, a lot of people were confused because when they went to rekey on their Pera, the Android version, it didn't include that standard rekey, and I was really shocked. At first I was confused because I didn't understand why people were having a problem with it, but then I learned that the Android version did not have that rekey. They've updated it. It does have that now, and you do have to go update. You have to choose to update. It won't prompt you to update it. That's something I've heard from Android users who have the Pera wallet. So if you still want to rekey, and you really should, even if you haven't done it yet. It does. The attacks seem to be over for now, but there's probably more coming. So make sure you rekey, or just send it to a new wallet, or rekey to a ledger. All options to keep you safe. But if your account has ever touched in my algo, if it's ever been used on my algo, you definitely got to rekey it to something that had to an account that has not. Now, I'll tell you, one thing this does is it makes things complicated. So I try to do I do a portfolio review every Friday for nifgen.com. You can find information in my description if you're interested. I do this exclusively for NifGen on their platform. It's a subscription service that it's kind of like a Patreon for Algorand and other blockchain creators. Eventually, it lets you buy one fee for everybody. But anyway, what I'll tell you is, Comodo was really difficult to use. In Humble, I actually could not claim my rewards. The transaction kept failing. So that's a problem. I assume is because I rekeyed because it worked fine before. So bear in mind, this is going to make your life a little more difficult. Actually, I want to get to scammers because there have been some scammers out there. So first and foremost, and I think I said this before, but they keep popping up. My algo will not reach out to you, and they definitely won't reach out to you on Twitter. Okay. What a lot of these places are saying, hey, submit a support ticket with your wallet address or your keys, and we'll get it fixed for you. No, they won't. They're not my algo. Okay. I've seen a number right away. Even on Monday, I was seeing these scammers. They popped up on one of my tweets, and it's unbelievable. Twitter actually hit it. I had to look for it because I was curious what it was, and it was one of those scam tweets. So I've had people reach out in the comments, guys. Nobody from my algo is going to reach out to you, and nobody at my algo has a solution to recover your algo. So it sucks. It would be nice if they did, but they don't. So watch out for scammers. I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, price. So I got the price pulled up behind me, actually, and as you can see, it's definitely on a downtrend, right? I mean, that's pretty obvious, but surprisingly, it's held up pretty well, all things considered. So everything's kind of down a little bit, and I was checking a lot of the top 100 coins, and there's not much difference, surprisingly. I'm actually really shocked about that. I expected there to be a higher price drop. In fact, let's take a look at that. I mean, Bitcoin is at 21.5. I mean, that's a huge drop. Everyone had a big drop earlier in the week, and then they've been ticking downward. Ethereum's still holding that 1,500. But just look at some of the price drops. Now, these are in the 7 to 6% range. Cardano down 8, Dogecoin 10, almost 11. Same with Polygons. Solana's down like 17%. Litecoin 12. A lot of them are down. So anywhere from 5 to 16, 17 is where the range is. I'm just kind of scrolling through quick because I want to get to Algorand, which is down to 38th now. Yeah, so there it is. And it's down 16%. So, actually, I would say that's a little on the hindsight, but you can see even VeChain's down 17%. We saw the Solana's down about that much. So maybe mid-range actually isn't quite accurate. The more I look at it, it's probably kind of toward the high end, but not out of, considering there was just a major hack of the wallets, you would expect that number to be much, much, much worse. I'm actually quite surprised about that. Yeah, even HBAR has been falling. HBAR's got its own problem. We're going to talk about that in a second. So I want to move over to, okay, so this was posted by CR, and I think he's got some interesting points. He says, why I think it's pretty much over and assume we will see an outflow of projects users onto other chains. If you treat this as a business, you almost have to. If you see it as an investment, you probably should as well. If you see it as some gimmicky thing, you'll be okay. He says the space and liquidity was small prior to the exploit. I think that's true. Hit many projects and holders hard. Yeah. So if you lost money on algo, there's some people that are, it's a pretty small percentage of people who are going to be like, I'm sticking around with this. If all my algo was wiped out, I don't think I'd come back. I'll be honest. I survived, so I will probably keep it. I'll tell you, I just bought some new coins yesterday, and I did not buy any algo. Under the current, let's see. You can't as easily compare it to Sol or ETH, etc., that had large communities already or less competition when they went through big disruptions. Yeah, I think that's true. Algo currently has a lot of competition and is very small. I think that is true. I think Sol and ETH have been managed to build up bigger, excited bases. Algo has always been small. The excitement levels have always been a challenge. I think because it may have been, my theory is that it goes all the way back to that botched launch. You know, the fact that it launched at over $3. It has never been that high again. I mean, that's a botched launch, and I think that stuff probably, I don't know, maybe Algo would just never get over that. I'm not sure. He says, I have nostalgia for Algo. Kind of funny because it's like 3 years old, 4 years old. I have some nostalgia for Algo, but I also see things the way they are in the current space. I can't think of many reasons why we would see tremendous growth going forward, particularly short and midterm. I'm sure Algo project owners and users will make the right decision. He says multi-chain is the future. Algo may be able to carve out some share. And you can go see the rest of that tweet if you want. But I think he's got some points. I think a lot of the people who are already building, some of them are going to stay, some are not. If you've already invested a lot into Algo, I find it's going to be really, really hard to pivot to another chain, I think, especially since you'd be starting over. But I got to think that we're going to see probably fewer newer projects coming forward. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I just got to think, if you're saying, well, we got this project, we want to find a crypto chain for it, which one should we do? Well, I can't imagine how about Algorand? They just had 1,500 wallets hacked. That sounds like a good plan, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. And I say this here, wearing an Algorand hat. I have concerns. Like I said, and some people have said, hey, it's the wallet protocol, it's not the chain, but that's a fundamental misunderstanding of how people see this. When you have a wallet hack of this magnitude, that's going to leave an impression on you. That's a fundamental blow to security. And now the solution is to make this way less usable. Algorand, using it today is way less. It's way more of a challenge. Every protocol I've tried to log into so far, it's been difficult at the least, if not, like I said, humble. I actually can't get things off now, ever since I did the rekey. So Algorand's usability was a big selling point, and that's gone now. But I don't want to leave off HBAR. It almost deserves its own video, but HBAR also had a hack recently. Now, I'm not adding it into this video because it's related, other than it is a hack. It doesn't appear to be. It's not a wallet hack. It's actually two of the protocols. Let's take a look at something here. Okay, now this is from Saucer Swaps Lab, which bills itself as a pioneering DEX on Hedera, and says an ongoing exploit has, I think they meant, hit the Hedera network this morning. The exploit is targeting the decompiling process in smart contracts. At time of writing, attackers have hit Pangolin and HeliSwap pools containing wrapped assets. We're unsure if the other HTS tokens are at risk too. We are actively investigating or in talks with the other DEXs on the network and trying to look for ways to mitigate the vulnerability. There have been no reports of Saucer Swap users getting funds stolen. So major distinction there from the Algorand situation. But as a precaution, we would encourage everyone to withdraw liquidity immediately. So this is very reminiscent of what happened on TinyMan. They're saying, get your stuff out. Remember how we all had to do that on TinyMan? Now they're saying updates. This is 2 hours ago. So this is after I even saw this morning. We no longer advise users to withdraw liquidity. Saucer Swaps is unaffected. So it says it appears as though the suspected attack vector is not used by our smart contracts. It doesn't appear to be something nearly as catastrophic as the my algo hacks. Also serious. We have to take any kind of hack serious. So like I said, it's more akin to the TinyMan and doesn't appear to even be close to that scale. But good that they're looking into it. These hacks, it creates scary times, and I hate to keep going on about this. I just really feel like this is the time when, if you're a content creator and you're covering Algorand, you got to step up, because you got to let people know what's going on. You got to let your audience know, and that's really important to me. It's important to me to help you stay informed. So I've pretty much put all the other videos I had on the back burner right now, because this is clearly the most important thing going on, right? I mean, it's all I can think about in terms of Algorand. And I don't know what Algorand's future on this channel will be, to be honest. I'm gonna monitor it. I'm not getting rid of anything, but not really that excited about buying anything either. But I want to get this stuff out to you, especially the information about Pera, because that's crucial. I think they should have fixed that earlier, but I'm glad they've got on it and fixed it now, so you can rekey. I know some people said they saw my video and said it was too late because they'd already been hacked. And well, I can't make YouTube show you the video, unfortunately, but it's really important. So thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Anyone who lost money in this, again, I feel really bad for you. My heart goes out to you. And all I can do is say, stay safe. I used to say, not your keys, not your crypto. Apparently, even if it is your keys, sometimes it's not your crypto. So make sure you're either using a ledger or you rekey your account, or just move it to a new non-MyAlgo account if your account has ever been involved with MyAlgo. So if you had it, even if you started it on Pera, but then you moved it over to MyAlgo, make sure you get it off. And that's all I got to say. Hope you guys are doing well otherwise, and I'll see you in the future.